Welcome to Long Beach, California. My name is Dean Case. I'm the Communications Officer for Mazda Motorsports. The Long Beach Grand Prix, I'll correct myself. It's the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. We say that correctly because we expect the Toyota guys to say Mazda Raceway, and they do. This sport is driven by a lot of manufacturer support, and we like to give a shout out to everyone that supports the race here. This race is in its 40th incarnation here. They've run Formula 5000, Formula 1, Indy cars, and some of the best sports car racing in the world. We've seen it. To completely avoid any contact. The 70 car at the end of the 12 hours had no damage whatsoever. The engine cover never came off in a pit stop. It ran perfectly. 07 had a problem, a pure mechanical issue that, just one of those things that happens in racing. And John Hinha took a chance to talk to the crew afterwards to find out exactly what put the 07 out of the 12 hours of season.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Speed Sport Pit, and I'm afraid it's bad news for the 07 Sky Active Mazda. Sometimes you can plan for every eventuality and still something will kick you where it hurts. Come and have a look at this on this rear right hand wheel. See this little clip in here, there's two of them, and I can squeeze them together. It's spring loaded, and what it does is it keeps the locking wheel nut, the center lock wheel nut there, on the hub if anything should go wrong. It's a safety item. Well, unfortunately the one on the other side has broken. It's a tiny little thing, so let's put another one on, except there's not another one here. The people who made the prototype Lola cars didn't expect it to break, therefore there's no spare part here. Sometimes it's the 50-cent part that can knock you out of even a world-class motor race like here at Sebring. You know what it's like when you're doing stuff at home and this sort of thing happens. Well, sometimes, even in the highest class of racing, it's exactly the same. Tristan Nunez is with me. Tristan, come on in. Man, have you ever seen anything like this before? What bad luck that a tiny part should take the car out of the race.
Yeah, I'm glad it happened that early. If it would have happened at full speed, we would have had a bigger problem. But yeah, I just gathered it up, brought it to the side of the road, and that's racing. We're out, but at least it wasn't engine related. We're making huge strides with the engine, so this could happen to anyone out in the field. It just happened to happen to us.
And by the way, nice job in bringing the car to a stop without doing any further damage, because other than that piece being missing, the car is absolutely straight.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's an easy fix right there. Better than bringing the whole tub back in a million pieces. We've been seeing a lot of that today. I think we had more yellow flag laps than green laps. So yeah, just had to bring it back to here, and then we fixed it at the shop.
And looking forward to the next race, which is out on the streets of Long Beach. That's another very, very different challenge. Daytona, the high banks, the bumps here at Sebring, and then the unforgiving concrete canyons that are Long Beach.
Yeah, that's correct. It'd be interesting to see what our Mazda prototype can do in the streets of Long Beach. I think we got a good car and making huge strides. So very proud of the team. It's a huge team effort, and I'm glad to be a part of the program.
Bad luck, but the program carries on.
That's right. Yeah, we work as a team, and we win together, we fall together.
Sebring is a unique race. It's 12 hours, therefore you start in the sunshine and you finish at night. It's a very, very bumpy track on the concrete, which were old airstrips. And so imagine that bumpiness trying to navigate at night. You better have great headlights, and you better have a good crew, you better have good spotters, you better have a great everything. The Speedster 70 car executed flawlessly at Sebring to bring the 70 car home 11th. Our first finish with the new program. Fantastic achievement by everyone involved. Endurance racing isn't about having one great driver. Endurance racing is about having multiple great drivers. Both the 70 and 07 have a pair of great drivers, and they're required to change. 100-minute race, one driver could easily handle, but the rules are such they have to do a driver handoff, so there'll be at least one pit stop. The timing of that's very much TBD based on track conditions, caution flags likely. There's a minimum time requirement for each driver, otherwise the team does not score points. Let's have John Hinha give you a little update on our four drivers who are racing this weekend in Long Beach.
Sylvain Tremblay brings it all to the number 70 car. He's not only the team owner, but he's also done some engineering in the past as well as his driving talents. And those talents have brought him two class winners in the Rolex 24, 2008 and 2010. He took home the big trophy and the watch. Tom Long knows Mazda. He's a former Mazda Speed Cup champion. He's won in Grand Am in GT and GX, and he's won in the Continental Tyre Series. That's the kind of experience that will serve him well Joel Miller managed to combine his early career with an education and graduated from the University of California, Riverside. And I'm old enough to remember when there was a racetrack there. He was the 2013 Rookie of the Year in Grand Am and a former Skip Barber national champion. He knows how to win and he likes winning. Tristan Nunez is a perfect example of how one can graduate through the Mazda Sports Car Academy, having won the 2012 Cooper Tires IMSA Prototype Light Championship powered by Mazda. He's also used to winning in the Mazda 6 in the Rolex Grand Am Series last year, and in his spare time he does great work making sure that young drivers keep their eyes and their mind on the road.
I'm standing on turn 10 of the Long Beach Grand Prix course. This is an amazing place. If any Southern California race fan who grew up here in the 70s or 80s knows this track. It started out in 1975 with a Formula 5000 race, ran Formula 1, Indy cars. They've always had a...
Long Beach, the circuit is just under 2 miles around and has plenty of history. Formula 5000, Formula 1, kart and IndyCar have all raced on these city streets, and that makes it unique in sports cars in America. It's a bumpy surface, and the qualifying position is often important, as traditionally it's thought to be difficult to pass, although John Watson might disagree with you. He won a Formula 1 race here in 1983, having started in 22nd position. In terms of time, it's the shortest race on the Tudor United Sports Car schedule for 2014, just 100 minutes to make your mark. And it's the first time that we've seen a split field here. That means that just the prototypes and the GT Le Mans car will be racing here. That will give us the smallest sports car grid that we've seen on the streets of Long Beach, but it might just make things a little bit easier when it comes to passing. Look out for action at turn 1, at the end of Shoreline Drive, at the start and on the restart. It's a tightening left-hander that can often cause problems. Turn 9 at Seaside, a right-hander. It is an overtaking spot, but you have to be very decisive. Turn 11, the famous hairpin. Well, not really an overtaking spot, it's just difficult to get around.
Thanks to John Hinhoff for giving us the details about the Long Beach Grand Prix track. The track here, well, Mazda Raceway is our home track, of course. This is truly the closest track to Mazda headquarters here in the U.S. So it's only about a 30-minute drive from the corporate headquarters. We get a lot of attention from our employees and just general Southern California fans here. John Hinhoff at Sebring also had a chance to sit down with our own John Doonan to talk about how the race was going at Sebring and an update on the overall prototype development program. So let's take a look at that interview.
I'm with John Doonan here as we look down the historic front straight at Sebring. John, we've already got Daytona in the books. You went further and longer than the car ever went before. We're well past halfway at Sebring. All right, we've lost the 07 car, bizarre situation, but the 7-0 car continues. How do you feel the program is going? Where do you feel you're at the moment?
I'm absolutely thrilled with where we are right now. We came here and tested for 2 days. We learned a ton about chassis setup. Obviously added Ben Devlin to the lineup. He's got a lot of experience in the prototype, specifically these level LMP2 cars. The car today has been outstanding. We have not had one mechanical issue all day, knock on wood. So we're really pleased with where we're at. About 3 hours to go here, and definitely want to bring it home. We cracked the top 10, which I didn't think we would do in class. And Ben turned the fastest race lap on lap 114. So really proud of where we're at. Well, first, I'm really pleased where the series is headed on the balance of performance. You see at a track like this, a lot of long braking zones, a lot of fast corners, not as many extremely long straightaways where you're on full power like Daytona. So that's given an opportunity to show performance balancing. Go to Long Beach now, totally different animal. Long straightaway on Shoreline Drive there, but a lot of twisty bits, and I think that's where the Skyactiv Mazda shines. In those braking zones, coming off those corners with all the Skyactiv diesel torque.
If I had sat down with you before the start of the season and told you you would have been in this position right now, you'd have taken that, wouldn't you?
I absolutely would. This is a development program, and it's hard as a racer not to be fighting for the lead, be running up front every lap, every session. But as we look at a 5-year plan, I thought Daytona went much further than we would go. And certainly this week, I've been real pleased with the reliability and the pace. Probably made up half the gap of what we had at Daytona. You put a plan together. You understand the regulations and where they're headed with both IMSA and the ACO and the FIA over in Europe. So we've looked at that. We felt this was the best place to start in the LMP2 configuration here, working towards a bigger program here in terms of where we are in the grid sheet up front, and also with the eye on potentially competing, as the Mazda brand is a global brand, around the world, World Endurance Championship, Le Mans, the things where we can really take our brand to the people, as well as partners that are looking to gain value in not only a domestic market, but in a global market.
And finally, and very quickly, because it's about to get very, very noisy, you're looking forward to Long Beach?
Without a doubt. It's kind of our home race. Well, Long Beach is closest to the corporate office, so we have a lot of employees to come up. Got a good cheering section there. And then the next race is at our spiritual home, Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, which without a doubt is a place where I believe the circuit is going to be really cater to the car with the long braking zones and those uphills to leverage that torque we have. So,
John, well done, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Pleased to be here, and brought a little Irish luck here with the green Mazda hat. So.
I think John Doonan nailed it when he said Long Beach is a completely different animal. Sebring was a great finish for us. The number 70 was trouble-free. Didn't have a single time where the engine cover came off. Got our first finish there. But now Long Beach, we're getting ready for it. And since there's no time to pre-run, Tom Long actually got his first lap around here in a Mazda 6 street car. So Tom's going to take us around, tell us what it's like on a street course here where there's huge penalty points. You miss an apex, you're into a tire barrier if you're lucky, or into concrete at worst. It's a very difficult track and very technical, long straightaways, some extremely difficult braking areas. So we'll let Tom take you around a lap in the Mazda 6.
All right, welcome to Long Beach Grand Prix as we're in this Mazda 6 taking a lap around the street circuit. Through Shoreline Drive, down the front straightaway, accelerating all the way up to about 150 in our Skyactiv diesel prototype, letting the car track out to the left side of the road. And now we're getting ready for the braking zone. Very, very hard braking zone. Down to second gear, all the way through the curbing onto the exit, and then to the fountain corner. Very famous first gear corner, nice and tight, over the bush and back to power. All the way through to turn 4, accelerating hard before we have to get right up close to the wall, and then braking, getting ready for a big back straightaway, and the road goes away, we lose grip, all the way out to the exit, and then up the gears we go, all the way up to 5th gear in our car, about 120 miles an hour, before hard braking downhill, rolling through the apex of turn 6, and then back to power, all the way to the edge of the wall. And this is really where we're starting to get into a very, very fast technical section. Hard on the brakes again, turn 8, over the curb, back to power, let the car unwind all the way out to the exit. And now we got a long, bumpy straightaway, very, very bumpy here on the street circuits in California, Long Beach, all the way up to top gear, 6th gear, before we go hard braking off the back straight into turn 9, over the apex curbing, back across to turn 10. Very, very tight section. We call this a decreasing radius corner. And as we decrease now to the famed hairpin, first gear in our cars, and we go all the way tight, let it track on out, and back across for another lap at Long Beach Grand Prix.
Having the pleasure of riding with Tom Long a couple times on a racetrack, the video doesn't do it justice, but it's an amazing experience to ride with one of these true professionals and see what a car like a Mazda 6, or better yet, the race car will do on a track like Long Beach. When you come to a track, keep in mind, if you're thinking, do I just watch the race on TV or should I go? We say go, because sports car racing is extremely accessible, and that's how Mazda is committed to making it better for the fans. You can come up and talk to the drivers. They don't hide away in their motorhomes. They're in the paddock. You do not need to buy a paddock pass at a sports car race. General admission gets you access. The Speed Source guys are friendly. They'll answer questions about the car. Drivers will sign autographs, take photos with you, whatever you want. John Hinha at Sebring spent some time with the drivers in an autograph session. Let's take a look at what John Hinha had to say.
Well, part of the Tudor United Sports Car Championship for all the teams, including the Speed Source Mazda drivers, is connecting with the fans and being accessible in the paddock here to allow people to come and say hello, get some memorabilia signed, and indeed have a chat about how things are going. As you can see, we've got a decent little line here for the guys outside Speed Source. Let's chat to some of the guys and see what's going on. Tristan, let's have a quick word with you.
Okay.
Being involved with the fans here, it's an essential part of what Mazda does and indeed what the championship does.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're offering something new. If you haven't seen the fan walk we have actually going into our pits, you know, it's just a way to interact with the fans and really bring them in and spread the Mazda Sky Active message. So, you know, having a good fan base, especially, you know, crazy fans like this is Sebring, to have your back, especially at a race like this, is very important.
And the other Tristan, how you do? This is great, getting to speak to the fans, and there's a lot of Mazda fans out there.
Yeah, it's great. It's you know, we're pretty busy, but on the race weekends, and it's great to have this time to really be able to mingle with the fans. We try to do it as much as we can the rest of the time, but yeah, it's great. Sebring is particular. I mean, you gotta go to the infield, see what it's like. We're actually trying to find a hole in our schedule today to go and take a golf cart to the infield and see what it's like this year. So no, Sebring is very special. It's a big race. It's a big racing party, and we're really happy to be here and be able to see the fans.
And on the end here, Joel Miller. Now listen, we're letting fans right into the pit area, the garage area here. Does that not scare you a little bit? You've got your beautiful Sky Active Mazda prototype in there.
Well, it's pretty cool. I think, you know, you look at all the other teams, you have to stay behind the crowd barriers. We're inviting everybody in. We want them to kind of engage, see what we're doing, this development with this Sky Active diesel engine, to say, hey, that engine there is exactly what's going to be in your Mazda 6. And come see it in the race car. There's a lot of similarities, especially in the weight and the part count. So bring the fans in. That's what we're doing here today at the autograph session as well, just interacting with them. So without them, we wouldn't be here.
If you're wondering what I mean by taking the fans right inside the garage area, normally I'm on the inside here, fans are on the outside, you're not allowed in, but here at Mazda Speed Source, follow me Paul, you're allowed down this centre aisle here right into the inner sanctum, which is of course the place where the cars are being prepped, and we are literally, well, almost literally within touching distance of the LMP2 cars as they're being prepared. And that's what we mean when we talk about Mazda taking motorsport back to the people.
Thanks, John. We've got a great group of drivers here, and we're getting ready to go green. So this wraps up our pre-race show here at Long Beach for the TUDOR United Sports Car Championship. It's an amazing racing, and we're really working hard to deliver you a product that takes you behind the scenes. So go on to Twitter, go on to Facebook, talk it up, and give us feedback. Go on to the Mazda Motorsport Facebook page. I'm the one that does the updates there along with my teammates. This is not, we don't hire this out. This is a homegrown product, just like our cars and race cars and everything are. So we want to involve you. We want to make this fun and interactive. And once we finish up at Long Beach, we get to go to our favorite racetrack in the world, Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. That's the May 3rd, 4th weekend. If you are anywhere near Northern California, come to Monterey and see it live. It's an amazing place. See the corkscrew in person. Failing that, tune on to Fox Sports and tune on to the Mazda YouTube channel, and you can go with us behind the scenes at Monterey. So let's get ready to go green here in Long Beach.
acknowledge. Stay out. It's going down right now. It's going down. Alright, Tom, turn 1 is all clear now. Turn 1 is clear now. Copy that.
Went up quick, quite high on acceleration, 230 on the back straight.
Yeah, Tom, copy that. We're looking at it here. Alright, Tom, just stay out for now. Do what you can to help us out. Yeah, copy that. Yeah, copy that, Tom.
So, we lost the boost.
Alright, Tom, hit this lap. Hit this time. Or take a look at everything. Hit this time, please.
Yep, copy that. Turn 9, pretty good time.
Yep.
High on the water. Just
Yeah, copy that, Tom. Just hang tight for a bit. Let's just get the cover off. All right, turn it off, turn it off. All right, guys, let's throw stuff back on it. Thanks. Guys, we're room 2.
You never want to be standing here at the end of the race when you're not in the podium. And unfortunately, there's sometimes when the cars just don't make it. When you're in a development program, that's a data point. The team is already thinking about how they can make the car better, faster, and stronger for the next race. But thus concludes this live streaming broadcast of the Mazda prototype in the TUDOR United Sports Car Challenge. We'll see you again at the next race.
Well, part of the TUDOR United Sports Car Championship.